Facebook. Back again. I'm going to talk about Palooza. Lime Life Palooza. All that I learned. Hey, Leanna. All that I learned while I was there that I can think about right now. I'm still processing a lot of it. Hi, Daniel. My husband's on. Hi, Amy. Hi, Madison. Hope y'all are having a good night. Hey, Kristen. I love Daniel. Hi, Brianna. Alright, we're going to talk about Lime Life Palooza. I'm a little nervous because normally when I get on here, I have something to do, interact with you all. But this is just kind of me. I've sat down and journaled 5-6 pages of notes. Hey, Erin. Today of just reflecting on everything I learned. And I want to share it with you all. And I can already tell I'm going to get emotional, so be ready. Be ready to screenshot the ugly cries, the ugly tears. I did get the nickname of Tears Jr. on my trip because the first day we were laughing at April because she was just crying over everything, just super emotional. And we were like, Tears, there's tears over there, and nicknamed her Tears in a loving way. Okay. And then the day after that, I was Tears. I was Tears. Hey, Jarrett. Is this Jarrett? Is this Tina's boyfriend? Yeah, I'm going to be talking about that book. He commented and said Positive Intelligence by Shahzad Sharmin. I think I say his name right, but probably not. All right, let's get to it. I got some people on here. Hey, Paula. So, let me turn to my first page. Palooza recap. It was fabulous. The best time of my life. Obviously, you all saw a lot of pictures. That was a lot of I had 2 days of kind of fun and then 2 days of business. And so you saw a lot of the fun that I was having. But it was a business conference that I was there on. I was there on business. But I just really made the best of it. And anytime I had any downtime, we went to eat local cool places. We went to see all the sites that we could fit in. It was amazing. I'm going to have to do another live on just Arizona and my experience in Arizona because my heart's pounding right now thinking about it. It was the best place I've ever visited in my life. But Palooza, the reason I was there was Palooza. So I was there with Lime Life. I would have never been able to experience this opportunity. Hi, Ashley. I see that little baby pic up there, or it could be your mama. But I see that baby. He's so cute. It could be, I wouldn't have been able to experience any of this without Lime Life and without the support of all of you all. Y'all have been so good to me on this new adventure. I was really nervous to start this, to be honest with you. I've never sold anything but a box of Girl Scout cookies. And, so I was nervous. I didn't know if I would be good at it or not, or if I'd fail or what. But, I've really put my all into it, and I love this company so much. And being at Palooza it was exactly what I needed to reassure me that I am in the right place and I'm with the right company, and I'm home. I never want to leave Lime Life. So the first day I did a little live. We registered. We got our swag bag. It was full of all kinds of goodies. Our new Bend and Snap brush holder. I got that. It's amazing. I just brought my suitcase in. I've been home for 2 days, almost 2 days, so don't judge me. But this is the first time I put on makeup since I got back. So I haven't organized it all yet. I want to clean my brushes before I stick them in there. But I will do a live over that too, because you all need to see that. It's amazing. So I got that. First of all, the conference center is all decked out under one sun. Life-size makeup, lipsticks, mascaras, bottles of stuff. It was so cute, so just chic and simple in a way, but just very exactly what our brand is. Just clean, fresh. I love it. I love everything about it. And then the next day we went for the first day of training. None of us really knew what to expect, especially, hey Mom, especially if, hey Aubrey, hey Amanda, I'm going to get caught up real quick. Especially if you've never been before, we didn't really know what to expect. You would think that you're going for a company's conference. You're going to learn a lot about sales. You're going to learn how to promote. You're going to learn how to really kick your business up a notch. So we didn't really know what to expect. So we went in, ready to learn. how can we be better? We want to get to the top. You know, everybody does, all right? So, the first day, it was just recognition of some of the ladies at all ranks. So, there was a beauty guide up there. There was lead beauty guide, star beauty guide, director, and then executive ranks. And what they did was they got up there and they told us, I have notes over here so I don't forget. They told us that ranks don't really matter. Ranks don't matter. That, in the grand scheme of things, that means nothing. And they all ended their little 2 to 3 minute speech. And 2 of my leaders got to be up there, and I'm super proud of them. I was in tears over that the first day. Mary Spurlock Stepp and Kendall Burke Brewer both were up there, and just amazing. Go follow them if you don't already. They're just amazing people to follow in general. But they would all end their little speech with, the journey is in the joy. And I'm not going to lie, I can be a little smart aleck sometimes. If I think it's going to be funny, I'll say it no matter what, So I kind of was like joking around like it was a cult, like, praise be, like, that was our little sign, like, the journey is in the joy, praise be. We were all going to bow our heads, and we were kind of tickled about that. And then this guy got up there. His name was Shirzad Shameen. I think I'm saying his name right. Probably not. And he is an author and a Fortune 500 company trainer. Like, he goes around to all of these Fortune 500 companies and trains them. So I'm thinking, yes, this is going to be awesome. We're going to get some good business material out of him. And he gets up there and just tells pretty much like his story. The first day. And I'll be honest, it was hard for me to follow him because it was very cold in there, number one. And I was sitting in the back because I was late, because that's who I am as a person. And I was sitting back there with the family area, so there was like a bunch of crying babies, so it was really hard. My ADHD was kicking in, and I had a hard time paying attention. But he was talking about how do we pivot our life to positivity. Hey, Tina. And I knew what he was saying was important, but I had to really make myself focus. And towards the end, I really start picking up on, like, I think he's onto something here. Like, I'm picking up what he's throwing down, So he started talking about how we have saboteurs in our lives and we have sages in our lives. So saboteurs are obviously these things that hold us back. They keep us down. And then the sages are the things that are assets to you and help you rise and help you become the best person that you can be. Hey, Brenda. And he told kind of his life story of he was just this really positive guy and was just a magnet for positive energy. He had this idea to start this company, and everybody was just drawn to him, and it was wildly successful. And then about 2 years into the company's success, he walked into a room, and there was like all of his CEOs, everybody close to him was in a room, and it was basically an intervention. And they were saying, you've completely changed. Like, you were this positive person, and now nobody can stand you, pretty much. Like, you are just a controller. You want everything to be done your way. You're very hard to work with. And he just thought, of course, was taken back by that. And so he said the first week he really was just thinking, just had tons and tons of thoughts. So some of the things he was asking was, is this the real me? Am I really a controlling, hateful person? How did I shift from this? How did I shift from this positive person to this point that I'm at right now? And is this permanent? Can I go back? Or is this who I am now? And, or are these people just betraying me? Are they, envious? Am I back? Sorry. Apparently my internet connection went out, so I'm on data now. Yippee. Hey, Erica. Hi, Leanna. So, he thought, are these people betraying me? Are they just jealous? What's going on here? So, he did a lot of soul searching, obviously. And over a course of 15 years, okay, I want to say it again, 15 years. This was not overnight. This was not 2 weeks from that moment, or even a year from that moment. It was 15 years. He just did a ton of research, and he wrote this book called Positive Intelligence. And I have it in my Amazon cart. I'm getting ready to order it, actually. So that was kind of the first day, was just him going over his life story and how he was able to identify his saboteurs, and how being able to identify those helped him over the course of 15 years become a positive person that enjoys the journey. So I knew what he was saying was good. But then he said, you've got homework. I want you to go. I've emailed you a quiz. I want you to take the quiz. Hi, Tiffany. And I want you to, he gave us this little want-it poster, and you had to pick out your top saboteur once you got the quiz done, and fill out all the things like the lies that it tells you, the characteristics. It was like a whole little series. So, being honest again, that night we were just into going and finding some good food. We didn't do it. We woke up the next morning and was like, oh man, we didn't do the quiz. We got to do the quiz. So I was kind of dreading it, to be honest, but it only took 5 minutes. And we all three did it at the same time. Well, I think April might have. She was a good student. She did it the night before. But me and Mackenzie did it the day of. And it was spot on. Spot on. I'm going to post the link to this quiz. And if you're interested in taking it, I really highly suggest you to do it. It's very interesting. So it tells you the name of your saboteurs. There's 9 saboteurs. And it tells you the characteristics. It tells you the lies that you tell yourself because of that, because that is how your brain works. And the really thing that hit home for me was at the bottom. It said like a source, basically, of where that may have came from. And they were spot on. They were spot on. And I was kind of shocked. I was kind of shocked by some of them. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Sarah. I got 2 Sarahs. Hey, Sarah and Sarah. So there's 9 saboteurs. There is the pleaser. And that's the person who wants everybody to like them, pretty much. Wants to do for people. Hypervigilant, which is just a very anxious person. Somebody that really struggles with anxiety. Victim, which is somebody who kind of feels bad for themselves. Poor me, all the time. Restless, which is somebody who jumps from project to project. Doesn't really finish anything. Has a hard time staying focused. Controller, obviously you can tell what that is. They need to have control. An avoider is somebody who would, if they know or feel like they're going to fail at something, they'd rather just avoid the situation. Stickler is somebody who has to have it their way. Hyper-rational is somebody who's very logical, has to see facts, figures to believe something. And a hyperachiever is somebody who's very goal-oriented, is always looking for that next rank, next promotion, make more money. Like they get pleasure out of achieving things. So those are the 9 saboteurs. So my first saboteur, my number 1 saboteur, and I was shocked. Let me tell you, I was shocked, and I had to accept. Actually, I was shocked by 2 of these, that they were my top 3. I'm gonna tell you my top 3. I was shocked because first one, I've really been working on that a lot the last couple years, so it showed me that I still have a lot of work to go. And then another one, I would have never thought that I was that, but when I started reading the source, I totally, like, I was in tears. Obviously, it was an emotional experience. I was in tears and knew that it was me. So I'm going to share with you that my top 3 saboteurs, things that I say that get in my way in my head, the lies that I tell myself, and I'm going to tell you just a little personal story or some kind of a connection that I have, that the reason I feel like I am that way. So first one that I was a pleaser. And it's funny because a pleaser tries to gain acceptance by helping, pleasing, doing for others, rescuing others, or flattering others. It's funny because I did not think that would show up. If you would have asked me 3 years ago, I would have said, yeah, 100% I'm a pleaser. But I did not think that would show up because I've really been working on that a lot in my life, because I realized I needed to start saying no. And I needed to start just speaking my mind. And I was shocked that it came up. But when I started reading through it, I realized why I did. And it made me realize I still got a lot of work to go, and that's okay. That's okay. I've done good. I'm working on it, and I'm going to keep working on it. So the characteristics of a pleaser, obviously it doesn't sound like a bad thing, right? It doesn't sound like bad to want to help others or please others. But it has some negative effects on you. So characteristics is you always need reassurance. Yes, 100% me. I need reassurance. You have a strong need to be liked. I cannot stand it if I think somebody doesn't like me. Like it literally eats me up inside. The thoughts that you have are, I have to be a good person and I must obey. It bothers me when people don't like me or when people don't notice me. And the impact that it has on me, there were several different impacts, but I just picked the one that it has on me. The strongest impact it has on me is I burn out easily because I do, and then I get really, and then it's like, done. I'm done with it. I'm burnt out. So the source of this is that you feel like you need to earn attention or earn acceptance. And I did relate to that because here's my personal connection. I grew up being a pleaser. Because I was obedient. I was a good kid. I was the goody two-shoes. And, you know, I was known for being the good child. That's really the only way that I got attention as a child. Courtney, I am reading from my notes, but this is from the book Positive Intelligence by Shirzad Shamim, and I'm going to post the link later. I don't know if you follow me or not, but if you tap on my nose, a little button will come up and you can follow me, and I will post a link later to that, and you can take this. And then it signs you up. You can sign up for 4 free sessions. I'm so glad. Stay on here because I'm just getting started with these. So I need to earn attention and I need to earn acceptance. I grew up being a pleaser. I was the good kid. I was the goody two-shoes pretty much all my life until I was early adulthood. And I still like to be a good person, but I've veered away from that some on my personal journey to finding who I was. I didn't get attention for being pretty because I was always fat. I didn't get attention for being funny because I was really shy when I was younger. And those are the kind of the things that my brother got attention for being funny because he wasn't shy. You know, my cousin, she was skinny. She got all the attention for being pretty. So I didn't get that. The only way I got attention was because I was just good. I was obedient. And that's why I think that I have this pleaser, saboteur in me, is because I only got attention by doing something for others. And I do think, you know, Amanda, honey, I'm surprised I'm not crying, okay? I do think, you know, I've let some bad relationships come into my life because I am a pleaser. One of the things that it said up there is you want to rescue people. And that's 100% me. I think if I do this for them, you know, I can help them. I can be what they need. But that's not always the case. I just realized I have a big string on me. That's not always the case. So this was shocking that this came up for me. But it was good for me to see. It was good for me to see. I'm reading your comment, Courtney. She said, there's a difference between being nice and humble than women like us people pleasers. We have to learn how to be assertive and not passive. Exactly, Courtney. Yes. Assertive. I'm learning how to be more assertive. And I'm going to be honest, I need to find the balance because my next one that I'm going to talk about is kind of some anxiety. So it makes me irritable. So I get to a point to where I'm either nice, or like extremely irritable. So I've got to find that balance of being assertive and not passive, but also, you know, in a calm manner. So that's something I'm working on. And I'm just being real with you all. That's who I am. I mean, that's something I'm working on. So my second saboteur is hypervigilant, which just basically means that you are continuously anxious. You're a very anxious person. You suffer with anxiety. If you know me, you know that I am shaking my leg 24/7 because I'm just very anxious and it calms me. Yeah, Courtney, message me. I would love to talk to you. The characteristics of a hypervigilant person is they're always anxious. They have chronic self-doubt. That's a huge one for me. You know, I always doubted myself, especially growing up. I'm a much more confident person now. People will message me and say, how are you so confident? Da, 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 da. And it wasn't easy. I was not born with confidence. It's not like you come out of your mom's poo-tang with confidence. And if you don't got it, you don't got it. It's something that you have to work on. You have to build it. And pretty much I'll just say I faked it till I made it. And this was several years ago. I may get into that one day. I don't know. But basically I just had to start believing in myself and realizing those anxious thoughts and the self-doubt thoughts and telling them to shut up. So The thoughts that I have when I'm being hypervigilant is, when is the other shoe going to drop? This is all going too good. Something bad's going to happen. I'm skeptical. Those are the things that I think about. The sources. So my anxiety tells me that no one likes me. That's what my anxiety, that's my big thing with my anxiety is, it says nobody likes me. You're annoying everybody. And so you can see how being a pleaser and wanting everybody to like you, and then being hypervigilant and it's saying nobody likes you, you're annoying, can really, Mom, it's not funny, can really be detrimental to each other. I mean, they're like, my two top saboteurs are just fighting each other. Crazy. So my anxiety tells me that when things are good, something bad's gonna happen soon. Something bad's gonna happen soon. And what I've learned, hey Allie, and what I've learned is that it might. Bad things happen. It's a roller coaster. My life's been a roller coaster, okay? Ups, downs, horrible. And really good. And it might. And bad things are going to happen. But the thing that I've learned through all this, and that I'm still learning, is that you can enjoy it at all phases. Have you ever, like, had something so awful? Okay, Allie, I'm going to stop for just a second. Have you ever had something so awful and happen, and in the moment you're so emotional, so wrapped up about it, it's just horrible, and then you look back about it 2-3 years later, or even maybe months later, weeks, whatever, and you think, that was so silly. Why was I so upset about that? Look how this has worked out for me. I mean, that happens to me constantly. And so we just need to remember, just slow down, enjoy the journey. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Bad things are going to happen, and it's going to be okay. So, find joy in the journey, and enjoy it. It's hard to enjoy things while you're in the moment, so it's good to practice enjoying things and telling yourself it's all going to be okay when it's not bad. What? Daniel. So, it's hard... Sorry, Daniel got me tickled. Allie's telling me she wants to just stare at my face, so I stopped and let her stare at my face. And Daniel said I was watching her eat a Panera and she told me to stop. That's hilarious. Okay, I gotta get back. Yes, Allie, we are the same. Allie and I were in a group together because our top one was pleasers. We actually had the same top 3, and Mackenzie did too. So it was good. We got into a group of 5 and got to discuss, and it was crazy because we all had different things, of course, different childhoods. We're from different states even, and yet we all had the same saboteur telling us the same things, and they all stemmed from similar situations in our childhood. You know, they were different but similar. So it was really interesting. I really, really want you all to take this quiz that I'm going to post later. And you don't have to tell me your results. You don't have to post them. If you want to, you could message me, and I would be happy to talk to you about it. But you don't have to. It could be something just for you to just self-reflect on. All right, last one in my top 3 was victim, and I was shocked by this. When I saw victim as my top 3, I said, "You're kidding me. You are kidding me." But then I got to reading through it, and I read the source, and that's when I was tears. That's when I cried my eyes out. So, victim is somebody who is they are emotional to gain attention. And I don't, this is a hard pill for me to swallow. This is a very hard pill for me to swallow, to say this right now. But as I got to reading through it, I was like, yeah, I mean, I can see that in myself. So the characteristics are, they can be dramatic. Sue me. When things get tough, they crumble. So, like I was saying, who I was 3, 4, 5 years ago is different than who I am now. I totally would have put avoider. If you would have asked me my early 20s and teenage years, I would have been an avoider. I would rather have avoided a situation than think somebody's laughing at me, to think somebody's looking at me, to think somebody is judging me, to think that I'm going to fail at something. I would have rather avoided it. So the fact that this victim came up, I feel like there's still a little bit of that in there. Avoider's not prominent with me anymore, but there's still a little bit of that in there. And we repress rage, and then that equals depression. So, my thoughts that I tell myself, the lies that I tell myself, is that no one gets me, nobody understands it, poor me, I'm terrible, terrible things always happen to me. So let's go back to me being a pleaser. Okay, I told you I was an obedient child my whole life. I did everything I was supposed to do. I went to church, I went to Sunday school, I went to church camp, I memorized Bible verses, I lived it. And what happened was, I got into a really bad relationship really young. There again, I never got attention for being pretty. I never got attention for my personality that much. I did some when I went to college because I started to kind of come out of my shell a little bit. And so I allowed myself to get into a bad relationship because I honestly thought that's what I deserved. I thought I would never get better. I thought I would never do better. And I had always been a pleaser. I'd always been a pleaser. I'd always done everything right. I thought this is what I was supposed to do. I'm supposed to be, a young woman, find somebody, get married, start a family. That's what you're supposed to do, right? So I thought I was being a pleaser. I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do. And it turned out that it was a very bad relationship. And I'm not going to cry about it. And, or I might. You're just going to have to see tears. It was a very bad relationship. It was very emotionally abusive. It was starting to become physically abusive. And if it wasn't for Caleb, I would have never left. But after I had my son, it made me see from a different perspective. And I know mothers out here can relate to this. But I didn't want that life for him. Give me a second. I didn't want that life for him. I didn't want him seeing his mom emotionally abused. And the worst thing was I did not want him growing up and thinking it was okay to treat women that way. I couldn't stand the thought of that. So, it took a while. It wasn't like I just decided that like that and was able to leave. But I did. I left. And that was the best thing I've ever done. And people ask me how I'm confident. And in some way, weird way, that leaving that situation empowered me. And I didn't know it at the time. I spent about 2 to 3 years being a victim. Sorry, guys. I spent about 2 to 3 years being a victim and thinking, why did this happen to me? I did everything right. I mean, I got to fix the man's breakfast and lunch every day even. Lord have mercy. But mostly I just thought, I did everything right my whole life. Why did I not deserve, the happy family? And I was really guilty for a long time because I was, grew up to believe that divorce was wrong. And that was hard. It was hard for a long time. And I didn't focus on myself. I was a pleaser. I focused on going back to school to please everybody, and I'm glad I did. I mean, I'm not saying I shouldn't have done that. I'm glad I did that. I focused on, getting some debt paid off. I focused on getting a job, getting a house, and getting back on my feet because I literally had a dime to my name when I left. Nothing. And about $10,000 in debt that I took because I know if I didn't, it would go, it would go on my credit. So, I spent a long time playing victim. And I was shocked when this came up. But it did. It came up. And that's something I'm still dealing with. I still feel guilty over it. And luckily today, I have the best husband I could ever ask for. And I'm going to cry again. Tears. I saw my friend Tina posted today that anybody who thinks that they can never find a good relationship again, just hang in there, because it will come to you. She's found, she's in a new relationship. I'm so happy for her. And the same thing happened for me. I went through a bunch of, tears. I went through a lot of bad relationships, for a long time. And I didn't think that I would find anybody else, and I never wanted to be married again, to be honest with you. But I'm so thankful that I found Daniel, because he literally puts balance in my life. He literally isn't going to get on here and yell at me for crying or telling something. He's not going to yell at me because I misplaced the screwdriver. And throw it at me. He's perfect. He's an angel is what I'm trying to tell you. He is an angel, and I absolutely adore the man. And I'm so glad that I have him in my life. I'm getting off topic, but I just want to say that. So, that really came into play. But I still, and I'm going to tell another story about the victim thing, because this one was the one that resonated with me. Obviously, I'm crying over it. But it shocked me that it came up. But I had to accept it. I had to say, yes, this is me. I am this. This is something that is keeping me back. This is something I do that holds me back in all aspects of my life. And I need to learn how to acknowledge it, recognize it, and let it go. So, another thing that happened, obviously all these things came from your childhood. We realize everybody has a messed up childhood in some way or another. And I'm going to tell you this story too. And I don't want this to come across the wrong way. Like, I love my parents to death. I do not think that I had a bad childhood. I loved my childhood. But when I start thinking about it, there were certain things that stick out in my mind, and I think, yeah, this is, like, that's why I am this way. So one really big thing that stuck out in my mind was, to be the victim is, as a child, you feel like you're not seen. And so my dad, you all know, or some of you all know, my dad was a barber growing up, and he was a farmer also. And so he would barber late, and then he would come home and head to farm. So I didn't get to spend a lot of time with him. And when I did, it was great. I love my dad to death. To this day, I love him to death. But I didn't get to spend a lot of time with him. And I never really felt like I got to make a strong connection with him younger in life. One thing I did know that me and my dad had in common was he liked to draw, and I could draw. So there was one time I was feeling like really I was needing attention from my dad. And I drew him this really elaborate picture. And I thought I was so proud of it. I couldn't wait for him to come home and see it. And when I got home, I was like, Dad, look at my picture, look. And he was like, yeah, nice, that's cool, and just kind of walked on by. Of course, now, as an adult, I know he was exhausted because he's trying to take care of our family. Like, I'm not blaming him at all. I'm a parent now, we're all doing the best we can. You know that. But I got so angry. And it kind of goes over here to that repressed rage. And Mom knows what happened. I ripped the picture to shreds. Because I was so upset that I didn't get that attention that I wanted from my dad. So what was I doing? I was being dramatic, right? I was being a victim. And Mom went back there and was like, she just ripped that picture up. She's psycho. And so Dad came in there and he said, let's look at it again. And we taped it back together. But I got to thinking about that. Belinda's tears of forth. I got to thinking about that and a few other things. But, and like Mom, okay, the story of when Dad was introducing everybody and left me out. Like those little things like that, I feel like caused me to be a victim and to have the victim mentality and think, why, nothing good happens to me. Why is nobody noticing me? And that was tough. To look back on that and think about that, it was tough. And I cried on you all, and I cried the entire trip. The entire trip to Phoenix was pretty much just me crying, literally. So, now, we know, the saboteurs in our lives. We know how to identify them. So how can we turn them into a sage? How can we turn them into something that works for us, an asset to us? So the thing that, it was amazing, Mackenzie. The thing that I kind of jot it down. And if you do the quiz that I send you, it's going to send you a 4-step free process workshop to identify your saboteurs. How can you turn them into sage? So I really encourage you. I'm going to post it later, and I want you all to do that. But some things that I have thought about was just recognizing them. And I've talked about this before, guys. You have, like, it sounds so silly, it sounds so simple, but recognizing the things, the thoughts that you're having, the negative thoughts that you're having, the saboteurs that are in your mind, just recognizing them is huge. Once you're able to identify them and notice when they start coming up, notice whenever they start coming up, that's the biggest turning point. And it's not going to happen overnight, guys. It's not going to happen next week. This is literally, I've been working on this for 2 years, and obviously I found out through this I still have a lot of work to do. And think about the author of this book. It took him 15 years. 15 years to gather all this information and put it into a book for us. So it's not, be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. It's not going to happen overnight. So once you've identified them, once you start noticing them, tell them to shut up. Tell them to shut up. Say something the opposite of it. Say something good. Brittany, you're on here. Maybe you can give me some better advice. This is just me, kind of my own thoughts right now. And I'm not a trained therapist like Brittany is. And then the fourth thing is enjoy the journey. Slow down. Realize that it's okay to not be okay. Realize it's okay to be you and not somebody else. Comparison is the thief of joy. We are our own worst enemy. Exactly, Mackenzie. We're our own worst enemy. Stop and enjoy the journey. Stop and enjoy the process. I've learned so much about myself on this trip, and I've learned so much about myself the last few years. I've really been on a journey of self-development and a journey of finding myself and being okay with myself. Because my whole life, I grew up being the obedient person. I grew up trying to fit in a box, and I don't. Literally don't fit in a box. So I've become happy with who I am, and more confident with sharing who I am, and more confident with empowering other people to share who they are. And I've learned that it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to be different, and it's okay to think. I think society wants us to not think. They want us to follow. And thinking, like, your mind is so beautiful. Think. Use it. Be curious. It's okay to question things. That's something I've really learned as an adult. So this is going to be awkward probably, but this is a song that they played at the end of the conference. They had a little concert, and I literally almost doubled over in tears, and I'm going to cry thinking about it again. But I had never heard this song before. And it really touched me. It really, really touched me. And it's how Palooza ended. The balloons fell down. It was magical. It was a magical moment. We were in tears. And I realized that I was right where I needed to be. And Limelight has a dream to make every woman feel valued the way that they are. And that's my mission too. And it's my mission for me to feel valued the way I am. Yeah, we listened to the song and cried so many times. So I'm going to play this song for you all right now, and I might get kicked off of Facebook, and if I do, I'll post a link to it later. But it might be awkward, but I just want you to listen, because sometimes we just need to stop and listen. So I'm going to ask Alexa to play the song. It's called This Is Me. Oh, goodness. Sorry, guys. I've cried so much on y'all. Alexa, play This Is Me.
This Is Me by Kayala Settle and the Greatest Showman Ensemble.
Here's Alicia. If you've heard this song, give me some hearts. If you haven't, give me a thumbs up.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts.
It's okay to cry. Yes. It's okay to feel emotions. We don't have to be happy all the time.
No one will love you as you are, but I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. gonna send the blood, I'm gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me.
You all have a good night. Don't be afraid to be you. That's all I want to say.